Welcome to Sunday's videos for self-love journey series. For people who want to embark with me on this journey is full of topics and things to uncover and discover about ourselves. Today's topic is about healthy boundaries. It's called Healthy Boundaries for Empaths. I'll write it down. So, okay, so basically, let's go straight to the point. What is it truly to be an empath? Let's dive deep into this dynamic of being an empath. Empath environment, whether that's a house, right? So here we can do the first circle, home, house. And the second circle is going to be the environment, empath. Here, family members, many close ones, and also more, like aunties and uncles, those family members. That's also your family lineage, which is also very important to look at when it comes to trauma. Now, the second circle is environment, right? So neighborhood in general, environment, society, from neighborhood to further. People, those circles are people, okay? So basically, this is an empath here in the middle. Here is an empath. My goodness, looks like in a coffin. But that's actually, I thought about cage first of all. That's what we're going to dive deep into. This is a tough one for empaths. Tough one to swallow because it's not easy to be in such position. But after this explanation, I'm going to dive deep into the positives of being an empath, and I want you to write this down for yourself. This is going to really empower you and it's going to bring you clarity, okay? So all the core traumatized parts of an empath and why being an empath can have self-damaging effects, which is a practice of self-hate, not a self-love practice, and why being an empath can lead to expansion, openness, and actually healing of oneself and the society. So an empath is a person who attuned itself to the needs of others. And to make everyone happy. And whatever needs they have, they come first, because if you have been put in an environment, in a household which was full of basically trauma, abuse, any type of unhealthy dynamic, an empath, obviously, as one energetic field, is connected to those situations, so visually, energetically, emotionally, on every single level, mental, physical, and spiritual. This person is connected to those around them, right? So when those around them, the first figures, first caretakers of that empath that is put in the world, not knowing anything about the world truly, is just absorbing that, and that becomes a program that shapes its beliefs, first beliefs about the world, first thoughts and patterns about the world, how the world is. And so it attunes itself, it learns to attune, because it is in a survival mode. I don't know if you can see it, but here it is. Let's do that. Healthy boundaries and survival. Yeah, here. So an empath is in a survival mode all the time. When growing up in an unhealthy dynamic, abusive environment, abusive household, and this is first the house, right? Then the empaths go to the world and create the society. So the society is full of people who experienced trauma in the household, because this is where we take it and we then project it out to the world and into the society. So when you're in this survival mode, you attune yourself to keep yourself safe to other people's needs. And when you do that, you want to basically keep yourself safe, because you think that if you take care of other people, if you make sure other people are okay first, that you are going to be safe. And obviously that's not the case. So we're going to later on, as I said, talk about the positive sides of being an empath and how actually act of service, which this can be turned into, can be positive. Okay, but that's a different layer of this topic. So an empath is actually a coping. Being an empath can be seen as a coping mechanism. So basically, you're attuning yourself to those around you to keep yourself safe, because those around you don't make you feel safe, and those around you don't care about your best interests. Those around you don't see your needs and don't meet those needs. Okay, so human basic needs, which we're going to go into the needs later on. So basically, when your needs are not met and you're constantly in a war zone, you start putting to survive other people as a self-preserving mechanism, thinking that helping them first is going to make you feel better. So you feel the responsibility of those around you, which actually this can be turned into something very powerful and positive, as I see it already on my journey. So bear with me. So an empath basically goes into the world and again forgets about its needs, its wants, and wants to make everyone happy. Because everyone comes always first. Okay, so this person can feel energetically depleted, so signs of you not being able to put healthy boundaries is basically feeling constantly tired, energetically depleted, feeling like your energy is basically drained and you have no life force energy left. So this is a feeling when you basically are constantly in this survival mode mechanism. This is also called a wounded person. We can call it a traumatized person. There is a lot of the times we talk about the wounded masculine in the society and wounded feminine, right? So the wounded feminine is going to act like a masculine energy, and wounded masculine energy is not going to know its place in the world either, and is going to start behaving in a passive way, which is very detrimental and damaging for masculine energy. And this is not what we want to enhance in the society. This is a very unhealthy pattern. A masculine energy and the feminine energy needs to know what is good for oneself and what should we in relationships enhance and work on, and what qualities should we nurture so we stay in the feminine and stay in the masculine energy. So this is also, an empath can be also turned into a people pleaser. So this kind of behavior is again a trauma response. Being a people pleaser is basically trying to be nice, right? Being nice instead of authentic. So I'm going to behave in a nice way so I can have my needs met, and I can basically get the need met, have the need met through my inauthentic expression, through being nice, through pleasing someone to basically get what I want, which at the end never happens, because if someone is inauthentic, they will never get what they want because they are not attuned to their own needs first. So now, unless you know how to balance self-love with the self-love, which I talk about. So self-love starts here, and then self-love, others, environment. So how to turn this energy into something good. So if you are doing something that makes you happy and that basically is wants, needs, give you a sense of safety in the society and in all possible relationships. Safety. So if you know your wants and needs, which give you ultimate safety on individual and collective level, this can lead to collective and individual fulfillment. So if you know what makes you happy, you can turn those wants and needs into something that serves others. So So by sharing your process and happiness, you can affect the collective. Now let's go into wants and needs. So basically, if you have someone that has basic needs, physical basic needs, physical basic needs, emotions, communication, safety, passions, purpose, and what else can we put in this spot? Community, which is friends, family, community, close people, people that nurture you and you nurture them. So I hope you can see it well, because I put everything in red, but I think it's okay. So basically, wants and needs. What makes a person being depleted energetically and feeling unsafe? Obviously, it's a trauma response to anything that happened in this person's life. So those wants and needs are here written. So they are based on physical basic needs, such as hygiene, food, nourishing food, nutritious food, right? So like in general physical health. It can be just being in a healthy, clean home. It can be to even like whether it's, how whether you have water in the house, because there are some people that don't even have those basic needs met, electricity in the house, so basic human needs. Okay, so we're talking here about people who experience these things. Now community, obviously everyone needs a sense of closeness and safety through relationships, because we're not meant to be alone, and we're not meant to feel alone in life, even if you have a personality that you put a how to say it, you label it introvert. Okay, trust me, even introverts need people. The most amazing artists in the world are introverts, and they need also people. They need what? Audience. They need someone to look to be with them and receive what they're doing and give them a feedback. So truly there is no such thing as I like to be alone. There is no such thing. This is just a concept of extroverts, introverts. I truly believe that we're always both, and we can have some tendencies of being more introverted or more extroverted, but truly this is something that everyone needs, which is community. Emotions. So whether your emotions are being seen. So that's a very good one. So someone who is an empath, traumatized empath, because being an empath is a trauma response. So basically, it is encoded in your system to attune to people's emotions, okay, and having them in your system as first transition, as if like it is translating to your system as your emotion. So you immediately take that in and it becomes your emotion. So your system, because it's been traumatized, is taking that emotion in and translating it as yours. So basically, emotions. So when those emotions are not being met, you learn to suppress them. You basically develop a mental, you basically feel like nobody cares about your emotions. Nobody values your emotions. Your emotions are not important. And that is an extremely difficult pattern to deal with, because this pattern leads to belief that your emotions are invalid. Therefore, I don't want to show my vulnerability, because if I show my vulnerability, it is not validated. I don't receive any support and help in processing those emotions. So when you learn that you cannot ask for help in processing your emotions, you learn how to do it on your own. And doing it on your own when you're little and when you are in the environment that is basically putting you in situations that are traumatic is for a child very difficult, because this child can develop a low self-esteem. It can develop a sense of unworthiness, because they feel like their emotions are invalid. Their emotions are not worthy other people's energy and time. So our emotional needs are very important to understand and to nurture, basically. As adults, we're being expected to learn how to deal with our emotions by ourselves, right? This is what we're expected as adults. Like, someone who doesn't know how to deal with their emotions is being basically treated as someone immature. So we need to understand that our society is shaped by traumatized people. So people who have been traumatized and are now adults, unfortunately, they didn't learn when they were little how to have their emotions being seen by others, how to have their emotions being validated by others, how, like, they didn't receive help in processing those emotions. So that's why those emotions and those unhealed versions of themselves and layers of themselves and aspects of themselves are being projected into the world when they are still adults, until they learn that feeling those emotions is completely safe. Feeling those emotions is completely valid. Feeling those emotions is completely normal. And actually something came to me, which we are going to put in here. I'm going to explain it in a bit, I'm going to explain it after that. Where is the concept of extroverts and introverts coming? And I already have the answer, I think. So passions. Now, it's very important when you're little to know your passions and follow them, and have the full support of learning new things, because a natural process, natural dynamic of life is constant learning and exploration and curiosity. When a child is curious, it wants to learn, and it doesn't matter if it commits to one skill in one field for 10 years and 100% for many years, or it tries out different things. So it's very important to observe a child and give it what it wants to explore, where is its curiosity focused on, because this is giving this child mental health balance. But basically, it's supporting its mental health, and it makes him more balanced. It makes him feel supported. It makes her feel supported. So knowing your passions and knowing that you have people that support your passions is something extremely important. It is something that will lead to your fulfillment, will lead you to your mental health balance. So this is a normal human need. Now, safety is something that I relate to emotions, mainly physical basic needs, safety and emotions, plus community. On a deeper level, definitely passions. I think this is for a human like the most basic. And then passions can also make you feel safe in the world, because you know your place. When you know your place and you know what you like and you know what makes you happy, and you actually also feel like you can explore any area of life, any skill, any teaching, and you have full support in that, then it leads to a sense of worth and safety as a human being. And therefore, it leads to healthy relationships and healthier society. Now, purpose. It comes from your passions and a sense of worthiness, confidence, which comes from those needs being met. I think a sense of purpose is being born when you know what is your passion, you know yourself, and you know your worth, and confidence comes from those needs being met. Now, I wrote communication because obviously this relates to how we express ourselves in the world. Communication is how we were taught, or how we are aware of ourselves, and how we know how we know how to communicate in our relationships, and communicate our wants and needs, knowing that others will support us in this process, and will want the best for us, basically. So communication is an important aspect of expression in the world with others, in a community, and all relationships, plus with yourself. So communication is something that I think is the most important thing. How you talk to yourself, how you talk to others, how you allow others to treat you. Basically, communication is very important when it comes to establishing healthy boundaries. Do you communicate when something doesn't feel right? Do you communicate your truth and authenticity with the world as you feel? Basically, when you know what makes you happy in life, this immediately makes your wants and needs being met. Okay, for people who don't know yet what they want and what is actually what they need in life, they basically need to sit with it and by trials, learn how to get to know themselves better, how to allow themselves to be curious about life, and to get to know themselves truly, what they want, what they like. What do you like? What do you want? Write down a list of things that you really enjoy doing, and a list of things what is for you like the basic need, okay? Now, how to, I'm going to go later on into extroverts and introverts, but how to basically, how to build self-confidence and self-worth when you are in environment that is that is basically very unhealthy for you, that is toxic. How to learn, and that is not a good question, how to start feeling this. Well, it's going to be a bit more complex for someone who is in this environment. So let's draw two scenarios. One scenario and second. One scenario, second scenario. So the first scenario is that this person who basically just, I cut it in here. So basically, how to build confidence and self-worth when you are in an environment that is unhealthy, toxic environment. Healthy environment. So when this person here, that's so weird. When this person here is in a toxic environment, you can, like, it's very hard to expect from that person to feel worthy and feel confident, because its environment is basically behaving in the opposition to worthiness and self-respect and just friendliness and good communication and like just general I would say general healthy relationships. So it is abusive, right? If you live in an abusive environment, you cannot expect from a person to feel worthy and confident, although it can happen. But let's say that it is for this person very difficult to feel worthy and confident, not being supported by its environment. So if it's an adult, it would be recommended to remove yourself from this environment and put yourself into an environment that is more supportive of your goals, needs, passions, your purpose, what you like, what you want to see more of in the world. So you would be asked to just go to an environment that is more synchronized and more basically aligned with what you wish to create. Now, you can go into the healthy environment as an adult. What if you cannot remove yourself from this situation when you're a child? And you're in this toxic environment as a child. So what you do, you suppress your wants and needs, and basically suppress your authentic self to finally wait for a moment in your life where you can fly like a butterfly again, and put yourself in a healthy environment. So as a child, if you grow up in this unhealthy environment, and you developed a sense of, basically not you developed, your sense of worth and confidence was very shaky because of your environment not supporting you fully. I'm going to draw something new. What you can do is to focus on those things that build you, right? So basically, if as an adult, let's say that you're in an environment that you can change immediately now and go into an environment that is more healthy, then as a child growing up in this environment, now as an adult, still feeling this way, what you can do is you can focus on so you can focus to build confidence and self-worth. In order for this society to be a healthier society, we need people who, first of all, build healthy relationships, and second of all, understand how to feel and how to become more confident and worthy. So basically, your focus can go to, as an adult, if you experience any trauma in your childhood, you cannot do anything about it at all. Those children who experience trauma in their childhood now, and they are still children, what we can do is educate society. So let's say now that your focus is on what makes you wake up in the morning and makes you happy. What is it that makes you happy and makes you fulfilled? What is it that you wake up in the morning, you feel like, I really want to do this, I feel good in, I feel like I'm going to be good in that, or I'm good at that, or I'm going to learn how to be good at that, I'm going to learn and embark on the process of learning this skill. This immediately boosts your confidence and self-worth, because you feel a sense of curiosity about life. You feel a sense of joy in you that is an expression of you doing what makes you being interested in that thing. So that's how you build confidence and self-worth, by knowing the answer to that question. It is that simple. Now, you need to understand that in this process, as an empath, and let's come back to that, you need to know that in this process as an empath, you will need to learn how to protect your own energy. So, if you have a sense of purpose and you know what makes you happy and you know what makes you feel good and what is basically your true expression in the world, you need to know how to reverse that. So how to stop absorbing other people's emotions and how to refocus your energy here to the center. So how basically you can stay open and open to yourself and open to your skills, your emotions, your ideas, your vision, your needs, your time, how to value your time. So basically, let's say that we have those 6 qualities. Vision, your needs, your time, ideas, emotions, and what was that? And S. Skills. And basically your skills. So to feel a sense of worthiness, you know that those things are valid and those things are what makes you unique and those things are what makes you feel fulfilled in life. So now, I think that inner balance, once again, inner balance. Inner balance comes from you respecting your energetic field. Basically, when you respect your energetic field, you don't allow anything that is not in alignment with you to affect you. Simple. So, your trauma is your trauma, you own it. You own it. It's your trauma, it's what makes you unique. You cannot reverse trauma. But what you can do as an adult is basically focus on protecting your energy and protecting what is aligned to you. What kind of things that are in my life are aligned 100% with me? And what things that are completely out of alignment with me are in my life and actually I can live without it. So you need to answer yourself this question in order to protect your energy. And obviously protecting your energy is not going to be easy if you practice constantly self-neglect, if you constantly practice self-hate, if you constantly practice suppression of your emotions, if you constantly practiced basically all those behaviors that were self-damaging. Let's call it that way. So I think that for those who think that absorbing all emotions of someone is going to lead them to their needs being met isn't true. If you want to constantly fix someone and you want to make sure that other people are okay, then what you do to your system is you develop a practice of self-rejection and self-hate. And that is a very dangerous place to be in. So let's write down empaths. What are the positives of being an empath? So only when you learn how to take care of yourself, you can then later on give it to others. Okay? So you can help empaths know the value of emotions. Understand people's needs. Understand the importance of healthy relationships. The importance of healthy relationships. Why did I want to write it separately? Relationships. So I think those are the positive sides of being an empath, which is empaths know the value of emotions. So it's a big one. It leads to self-expression. It leads to art. Artists are deeply, rooted in expressing their emotions. They are treating emotions as something extremely valuable to create art. So know the value of your emotions. If you're an empath or any human being, know the value of your emotions. Now, understand people's needs. So empaths definitely understand people's needs. Because you're an empath, you can attune to what people actually need. What is it that they currently feel What is it that is for them a big struggle? What is it for them to feel like this or like that? You can understand them through seeing them, feeling them, through listening to them, through attuning to their energy. So another thing is understand the importance of healthy relationships. So an empath definitely understands the importance of healthy relationships. And you can write it down for yourself. If you're an empath and you have been struggling with setting healthy boundaries for yourself, know that there is, like in anything, the negative and the positive side of the situation. So first thing, as I said before, you need to understand what is your need, what is your want, what are your basic needs, and try to do your best to have your needs met and communicate them into the world and make the best out of your situation, whether it's removing yourself from the situation or working on setting healthy boundaries, right? Which is the same, right? Removing yourself from a situation that is toxic is also a practice of healthy boundaries. Now, I wanted at the end to add something interesting. And also I direct you to my first and second video, because there I was talking about self-love as well. And during the first one, I think we were talking about how you can actually, how you can actually get to know what is your purpose. What is it that you want in life? Okay, so we're going to uncover what is an introvert and who is an extrovert. Introvert extrovert. So knowing that all behaviors and patterns are being shaped in our childhood, we can immediately make an assumption, or better said, not an assumption, observation, that an introvert is someone who because of the environment that they lived in, they started basically keeping themselves to themselves, because the environment that they lived in was not safe enough to express its true authenticity and its true basically emotions and needs, right? So an introvert, I made an observation immediately during this session, which is something very valuable, I think, that an introvert is basically, this dynamic is a response to your environment, whether you feel safe or whether you don't feel safe in your environment. If you don't feel safe in your environment, you will shut yourself down, like you will close yourself off from the environment and you're going to internalize everything. So you're going to be immediately less expressive. So you're going to focus your energy inwards and you're going to keep yourself to yourself. Extrovert, those are people who are naturally just, they felt safe. They're naturally good in just expressing their authenticity with the world, and they like to be around people a lot, which I said already. Both, we have usually a little bit of both, And for me, introvert is also an extrovert is an introvert. But when we look at the general patterns of an introvert and an extrovert, and where this could come from, is childhood, as I said. Extrovert is a person who felt safe in their environment. They felt being seen in their environment. They felt being wanted in their environment. They felt being supported in their environment. And they became immediately, naturally drawn to being more open to people and more expressive towards the world and towards people, because they knew since they were little that being open to people is what is safe. Being open to people doesn't lead to hurt. Introverts can have a tendency, based on core trauma, to feel like if I open too much, I will be hurt. So this is for me a trauma response as well, and it is basically telling me that this person had to learn how to keep themselves to themselves and learn how to deal with their emotions and needs and everything by themselves. That's why they developed a dynamic and a pattern of keeping more of the information and more of the information about themselves to themselves, so they don't want to show it to the world that much. And once again, extrovert is someone who naturally in the childhood was supported in their artistic expression, in their whatever they needed, whatever they wanted, it was always supported, and they felt safe in the environment to be themselves authentically. So this is something to acknowledge. It's not about me saying whether it's good or bad. It's not about that at all. Good and bad is something that we decide in our own perception of the mind, and whether something is good or bad is our own. Whether we see something as good or bad is our own decision in a way, depending on the situation. Again, everyone carries their own personal truth, and you will know whether something is good or bad. The things that we don't know that they're bad for us are those patterns that we need to work on, because they are in our subconscious mind hidden. And when we have those subconscious patterns in our mind and we think that something is good for us, but in fact it's actually terrible for us, then it's because it is encoded, programmed into our subconscious, and we're not aware of this on a day-to-day basis. So it's something to work on. We don't want to support any patterns that are a practice of self-hate. This is why those series are about a self-love journey. Self-love journey. Thank you. Yeah, so thank you so much for today. That was our self-love journey session, and please stay mindful and just reflect on what was said during this video, and think about your authentic expression in the world. And anything that you experienced, remember that it made you stronger, it made you who you are. So now you can basically use it as your strength in the world and use it as your superpower in the world, basically. So thank you so much if you're here today with me, and thank you for doing the work and stepping into the space of self-love.